everyone, Josie here with Emotional Wisdom, going live from California Pines. Why wouldn't I not come live with this scenery? This is gorgeous. This is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so I'm coming live. Again, I want to pull a card. Okay, this deck is from Self-Awareness Starts with Self-Reflection deck. Okay, and this is from We're Not Really Strangers. And so I want to pull a card, and I want us together to answer. Let me shuffle these. Answer this card. And if for whatever reason I don't have an answer that I feel is the most honest answer, then I'm going to do a live after with my answer. Okay? And I would love for you all to also answer this card. Okay, I'm pulling a card. Got it. Let's see here. What do I need help with currently? Who can help me? How can I help myself? I'm going to repeat. The card we pulled from the Self-Reflection, Self-Awareness deck is, what do I need help with currently? Who can help me? How can I help myself? I want to say that for the most part, I'm really good with asking for help. I'm better. Let me rephrase. I'm better with asking for help, because at first I felt asking for help felt like I was going to be a burden to that person that I would be asking for help. And with my significant other, my partner, coming into my life, he has really helped me to be okay with asking for help. And because of that practice that I've been having with my significant other, it's helped me really not hold back. I'm capable of asking for help, mainly with him. I think so. You know, I haven't had the need to kind of go outside of him. Also with my siblings, I do ask for help. But I want to say I really embraced asking for help if I need help. I can obviously further strengthen that, right? We all could, further strengthen anything for that matter and get better and just more solid. But yeah, that's why I'm thinking, what do I need help with currently? I'm trying to think how. Yeah. I'm going to have to think about it, But I want you to tell me, whoever's tuning in and is watching, tell me what you need help in. So please, if there's something that pops out, write it on the message, or actually make a note, create a comment there and share, because you never know who can actually help you in time of need. And by you actually getting vulnerable and sharing the help you need, someone might be there to help you. Because I feel for the most part, we like helping people. We're innately designed to help. And we feel good when we help another. So I guess it all begins with us giving ourselves permission, feeling safe enough to ask for help, and not feel like a burden or feel like the fear of the no is bigger than, it's too much for you to handle if you receive a no or a rejection. I think that where we need to strengthen the area we need to strengthen in terms of asking for help is giving ourselves that permission, getting courageous enough to ask for help, to admit what one needs help with, and in turn ask for help. And I think that you'd be surprised who could come through and help you. who can come through and help you in a situation that you thought no one was going to help you. In fact, this leads me to a story with my brother-in-law, Frank Rubino. Maybe I shouldn't be exposing his name. Maybe he doesn't approve of this, but it's a good thing. I, once upon a time, felt, I think I still do, but it's minimizing. Actually, I know I still believe this and think this, but it's the belief system is breaking down, because I'm realizing that when you do ask for help, someone will help you. That eventually, for the most part, people like helping others and seeing the result of their assistance to another. So I want to say back in 2015 to be precise, I had an issue with my vehicle, and I was driving over to a workshop convention, spiritual self-awareness convention, and my vehicle had malfunctioned at the Grapevine. I didn't want to leave my vehicle behind, and it just seemed so impossible. Like, who is going to help me? And not just that, after thinking about tow truck and hiring a tow truck to get it towed back to my home, or even to the place I was going to be at, and then figure it out from there. Well, at first, all I was thinking is getting it towed back to Lodi, which that's 5 hours. I thought, wow, how expensive is that going to be? And so I called my insurance company, and they were like, you only covered for a certain amount of, miles or something. And I was really in distress. Well, I figured out to finally get my car to my insurance actually covered to the closest mechanic. And from there, I had to leave it there, and I got estimates, and it was going to be so much money. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to repair it right then and there and drive it back home. So I was stressing, and I rented a vehicle. I still proceeded to attend the workshop. I had in the back of my head, how am I going to do this? How am I going to tow my vehicle back? And I was like, who can I ask? And it was very, very hard for me to get vulnerable and ask for help. And so I mustered, I don't know how I did. I said, I have to ask for help, or this is not going to get resolved. And somehow I mustered the courage, and I began texting individuals, and it was very hard for me, because I knew this is hard because if they don't respond, that's a no. So, and if they respond saying no, that's still a rejection, right? But ultimately, I'm like, God, either way, if one doesn't respond, or if they responded no, I'm going to internalize it. I'm going to process it as a rejection, which is embarrassing. Well, it could be embarrassing for people, but for me now, I'm okay with receiving no's or feeling that sense of rejection. But back then, I was very guarded, very guarded. So when you're guarded and you're being forced to ask for help, it feels more uncomfortable when you receive a no and you feel the rejection happening, right? Even with, like I said, receiving silence on the other side, not receiving a response, is rejection. So I waited. I sent out the text. It was in the night, so I could strategically go to sleep and not wait, because if I would have done it earlier in the day, I would have had time to ponder on it, to look at my phone, realize no one's responding because no one can come for me or no one has a truck. And what was really interesting is literally 5 minutes or less, I received a response from my brother-in-law's brother saying that he's going to try to get help, something along those lines. I don't remember exactly the situation, but I did not text Frank, my brother-in-law, because I immediately assumed and labeled and already concluded in my head and created an idea that he was not going to do this for me, that he was not going to provide help because, it's such an inconvenience, and who am I to think that I'm worthy for someone to go out of their way and drive 5 hours or so to get me. But what was crazy is that he responded back, Anthony, saying that Frank was going to come and get me. I was in disbelief because I already had judged the situation, thinking that he was not going to come. So I didn't even include him in the mass text message. And sure enough, in the morning, Frank reached out to me and he said, I'm going to come and get you. When do you need this? He goes, and I can go Monday, something like that. And it was exactly the day that I needed him to come for me. Exactly the day. And he said, what time do you need me to be there? And that was so powerful because I learned so much in that day. I was supported. I am worthy of receiving help. People do love me and care enough to drive 5 hours or so to come and get me. And it was over 5 hours. The person I didn't even text, the person who I assumed it would be, he would say no, actually was the one who was able. I mean, of course I had people that were trying. I had my other cousin who was trying to make it happen as well, who I'm very eternally grateful. And Henry, I remember he was trying, and I remember the level of support that I was receiving after I got Frank's confirmation. People were responding back, trying to find a way to help me. And so, again, asking for help in that very uncomfortable moment was so invaluable to me, was so powerful because I received results and I was able to debunk the doubt and the belief that I didn't care, that I wasn't worthy, I suppose, to drive all the way to LA to come and get me, that no one had the time to do that or cared to help me. It was powerful. So I was in awe to witness the level of support and the desire to help me. People, they were willing to try to help me. It was magical because when you are down on your knees, when you already feel depressed, feel like you're a burden to people, feel like no one really cares about you, because that's what depression does in isolation. It makes you believe that no one cares about you, that if you were to go missing, no one would notice. And so when you're in that space and this is the kind of support you receive, it is such a turning point. And I remember being eternally grateful for my brother-in-law, because no one just does that. No one just does that. I mean, I wanted to pay him and he was like, what are you talking about? Like, almost offended that I was doing that. And so this story is to support the card I pulled, right? For everyone. So use my story. Maybe I wasn't meant to think of something I need help in right now, or someone that could help me right now, and or something I can help myself right now. But perhaps this video was meant to give you encouragement, hope, possibly that permission slip you need to gain the courage and ask for help. Because you will be surprised who wants to help and who is willing to help. Maybe the people you least expect would say, I can help. And that is just that feeling of them reaching out to you and wanting to. It's priceless. Like I said, it's invaluable. And so I'm eternally grateful for him, and I even know his heart. It gave me the ability to understand and see him, his character and his kindness and his willingness to help. And that's bigger than anything. You know, people can act like they're good, right? Or believe, but sometimes those individuals that are introverts, right, that you wouldn't expect, they might end up being the ones who really do carry more love, or rather support for others. Anyway, so again, this is the card I pulled. Ask yourselves, what do I need help with currently? Who can help me? Thirdly, how can I help myself? So ask yourself those questions. And please, if you have a similar story as me and you got courageous and circumstances forced you or cornered you to ask for help, and it was such a vulnerable thing for you to do, and then you were met with something positive, with actual support, please share it. Please share it, because so many of us are scared. I was scared. So many of us feel like burdens. Who would want to help me? You'd be surprised. And when you see people wanting to help you, when you experience that, it really changes you. It is life-changing, because it puts a pokes holes, pierces holes, fractures that stream of consciousness, that belief system that keeps you anchored in this place of isolation, in this place of no one cares about me, no one's willing to help, I don't matter. So hopefully you enjoyed that video with all the love and full acceptance. Josie.